Let me change the mic. So the reason why we are late, we're just gonna do very short stream, because we failed, and it's my fault because we had the game to present, right? Because Sunnyside Reapers is making the game for you, but I am on the Mac, and as we know, the Mac is not perfect, and we cannot really unleash the power of the player to play the game, and the purpose was to play the game on the stream, right? so
And
so we can't really do it.
Don, am I able to share my screen? Because I will show the gameplay and play through it. It's just there's a security issue with his computer that requires him to change a setting,
Yeah,
and the
and
emulator has an issue with that.
and we couldn't figure it out. So let's make this chat short sheet chat, right? We just gonna talk. So I will actually show you guys what was the problem a little bit, right? So we're using this Nox player, and you can see as it shows to authorize, we have to go to security, privacy, general, and well, it didn't. But when we are here, like, we cannot really find the general, right, or any stuff to do it. So it's a little bit more complex. That will have to work on that. So that was our issue that we had.
Can,
Yeah.
can I still like show the gameplay? Like, am I able
Yeah.
to see?
So if
Okay.
if you could actually, but like before we start, can you tell me, like, because I don't know anything about it. So is the game related to Sunnyside Reapers? What's like? Introduce me to what's going on there, because I think people who will see it also don't have idea what is going on.
Yeah, absolutely. So, kind of like what we did is everything that like we have made until now has been art only. During this time, the past year, we have been developing a card game that plays like Hearthstone. This is currently in the Google Play Store for approval. Once it gets approved, then that will be released for Android. Don has a Mac computer and an iPhone. We do have iOS support coming natively at the end of April, but it won't be available right away. So how's it going, Vishido? So right now we wanted to show it, but this is actually only the second time we've used an emulator for a Mac. The Mac operating system that Don has a security feature that doesn't work with the emulator we tried. So that's just kind of like a little bit about that, but I can still show the gameplay through my phone and emulator on my computer. It will play on Google. It will play on Androids. It does work on Windows emulators, and then the Macs apparently are a little bit tricky. Once we get iOS support live, though, then it'll play natively on iPhones as well. The game itself plays a bit like Hearthstone. So the NFTs that we're minting, the image themselves is going to look like the normal, kind of style that we do, the images that we do. But then the
The
metadata,
Reapers, was it will be the Reapers?
yep. And then the metadata itself has things like health, attack, critical strike, special ability, faction, and I feel like I'm missing one, but it'll have those attributes where that metadata is pulled into the game, and then our game turns that image and all that metadata into an actual card. So this is, pending Google Play
So
approval.
sorry for stopping you. So those characters will be look like the Reapers, like your original Reaper NFT, because I know you also dropped some recently, right? You dropped the Eternals.
Yep. Eternals will be in the game too. So we have two card types. There are Reapers that act in the actual game that have stats, and then we have cosmetics, which kind of act as profile avatars. the cosmetics I won't show this time because the account that I'm using is a test account and a lot of people have access to it, and I don't want to lose the internal I have.
Show
Um,
me the cat.
oh yeah, the cat. It's
Oh, sh-
Pandora.
is it girl?
It's a girl. Yeah.
She's little fat. She's
Yeah.
old, or you feed her well.
I feed her well, and she lives in a 400 square foot apartment, so it's a mix of the two.
It's similar to mine, but mine is still young. It's like 6 months. So I imagine as she grow older, right, it will be the becoming puffy.
Yeah,
But
big
she
cat.
just, I heard she just did the poop. She might start meowing soon because mine, after she do the poop, she always meow to clean after her. She always wants me to clean after her.
Yeah.
I
Mine
was just. Hmm.
mine can usually go like a day before I need to clean the litter box, and she starts complaining about it. I would say.
No, she finished and she's getting crazy. Clean it, motherfucker! Like she's like, and I look. I hated cat, and I got used to. I don't know how I handled that. Sorry for stopping the conversation and jumping into cats.
Yep.
I didn't like cats, and I moved here, and I didn't let the cat to be at night, so I would close the doors, and she would sleep. And last night, like, I'm getting used to so much that I slept with open doors, and she slept with us, here on the um on the bed. So I'm becoming more and more of the cat person. And yesterday before the sleep, I was actually googling the biggest domesticated cats because I like them so much. I want to have big cat at,
The Maine
at
Coon.
home. Like there is some savannah, I think, is the race, and some other, like, they're bigger than the regular one. Yeah. um
Yep.
yeah,
No.
sorry for changing. And these NFTs will not be really related. You can play the game without having NFT, right?
Yep. There is a card pool of 59 Reapers built in the game, so you don't need NFTs to play at all.
Is there any perks for those who actually own the NFT?
Yeah, so we have a concept called factions. Factions are essentially like when you play these Reapers together, they get a benefit. You can have 10, or you need to have 10 Reapers per deck. So if you play with the standard cards, I think you can only get like 4 or 5 of a single faction, maybe 6 or 7, but you can't make a full deck. And like an ideal deck would have probably all of the same faction. So it's kind of like, it's like if you enjoy the game, then you would want to be able to at least complete a deck with Reapers of the same faction. On top of that, because of the way that the stats are formed and the special abilities, if you go for a certain strategy, like you just do like Death Rattle Reaper, where every time they die, it does 1 damage to the enemy tombstone.
Hmm.
That would be another case where you're not going to be able to do that with the cards just in the standard deck.
Sorry, I'm responding to Rarma
Yep,
because he says you look like Tender Mint Timmy.
I do.
Yeah, you kind of do. It's you have the same. Well, I think you have the darker vibe. I really, I I don't want to sound too of a gay, but I really like your vibe. You know how you look.
Yeah, I get it a
The
lot.
Mike Stranger. Like you could play in the movies, in the horror movies, like, the good small town American horror movie. That's You would be perfect character there. Skinny boy, little tired, sleepless. you know
Yeah.
um I think you have this kind of vibe of the, like, Mike from the
Oh,
Stranger Things.
oh, that guy. I'm not
Yeah.
stoked about that. I'm not. I'm not. Yeah.
I think he's cool. I really like him. So it meant to be a compliment.
Okay.
Uh, and you also camera angle. I think the room looks like a little, have this green yellowish light in the room. Like the bedroom, the lonely man in the bedroom.
Yeah, I'm. I for me, I always just keep like a single dim light on, and like my natural skin tone is super pale. So when I turn on bright lights and like the camera's up close, it's like, oh, this guy's super pale.
The man
Like it
who,
takes me,
yeah,
yeah, it takes me all summer to like get colors. So,
the man
um,
who hasn't seen the sun for past
yeah,
10 years. You exactly look like this. That's
yes, yeah,
um, and I guess Minnesota doesn't really get much of this, right? So,
right.
do you consider lowering your royalties at some point? I'd love
No,
that.
no.
No.
Here, I will tell you this though. Um, we have them at 6.66%. Um, with that in mind, when the infinity pools come out, we will release something at that time where that collection does not have royalties. That way, that one can be used for the infinity pool.
Oh, that would be nice. Yeah, yeah, I have a lot of collections. I've been buying the floors, and like, what can I do? Like, the best option for me is like just doing infinity pools, right? Like, and let the people to play with it. Okay, ready to show the game? Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, let's go. So, how do I do this?
Oh, you can share the screen, and then I can actually accept it.
Okay. So with
Blast the
this,
aircon. It's very hot. Most of the people are not from hot place. I think Rarma might have hot at his place as well, Australia. But it's
and how do I share my screen on this?
on the bottom. You should have option share screen. Check from these buttons that you have below.
Okay,
You're gonna
I
figure
have,
it out. Don't worry.
I have video, mirror camera, virtual background, shortcuts.
This is in the settings. It shouldn't be in the settings. It should be the. Not sure if do you hear her?
No,
Wait, she stopped.
and this is in the restream. Oh, I had to minimize it. Okay, I see
You
it.
got it?
I see
Yeah.
it. Yeah, yep. Okay, so let's go with this then.
There we go. You
Okay, so
stay quiet and oh, she stopped.
oh, I heard the cat. Yeah.
Like she still continue. Like she did poop 5 minutes ago, as I said, and now she wants me to clean it. Yeah. Uh, let's ignore her.
Yep. I am not Sunny from Osmosis. But like I am the guy for Sunnyside Reapers.
Yeah, Sunnyside trip. So that is the game. Is the mobile? It will be mainly mobile game. Make
Yep.
it
Yeah. No.
nice.
It's mobile first. The only reason that we're doing the emulators is just for people essentially who don't have iPhone yet, um, or because we that use iPhone, they can try out the game if they'd like. But iOS is coming. This game is you can play it on desktop, but it's not really meant to be a desktop game. It's meant to be mobile, and it's useful for testing. That was the big thing. So this is LD Player 9 for the emulator. And then I'm going to show you guys the sign up process. So before I log in. So if like you're a new user, let me think. Sign up like this. And don't worry, I'm not putting anything in this wallet, so I don't care that the mnemonic's on screen, but it creates a wallet for you. So this is like a brand new wallet. You copy paste the wallet, then confirm that save it. Click proceed. Have you saved it? You can log into it with Kepler. Click yes. Now you're in the game and you have a new wallet that is set up for this account. We decided to go this route. That way, we didn't require users to set up a wallet before hopping into our game. This is a more frictionless experience. The second part is I know people are always can be iffy about connecting apps. This way, there's nothing in this wallet. You can move Reapers there. We like ideally it should only be items for the game itself. Um,
I really like how it looks because you are the proper NFT. There is many people believing there will be some huge gaming, some sleek gaming in the NFT, but people don't realize that the most successful NFTs are the ones that remind you of the internet that was 20 years ago, of these internet communities. If you were on internet forums and made the internet friends, that's how it looks.
yep,
Like that's how the game also looks, like that you play with your internet friends, right? Like and spend the time together.
yep. So real quick, I am going to log out of this account
Hmm.
and log into one with NFTs. I'm not going to put NFTs in this one since
Hmm.
the mnemonic was on screen.
Yeah, you can close the screen anytime if you want, if you don't want to show
Yep.
something. So
Oh, yeah, I don't care. It won't matter on this one.
right.
So this is the one that I actually put NFTs into. Um, and then I'll show you the first thing right away is that for game info, we
Hmm.
didn't do a tutorial. I think people hate tutorials. I hate tutorials myself. So instead, this is basically the game and everything that you need to know. I'm not going to go through it. It's a lot of text. But it's
Is it
basically,
will be like similar to Magic the Gathering and all of the other games, like
yeah, I would say most similar to Hearthstone. The biggest thing with the game is we built it in a way where you do not need to know the rules to be able to play it.
right,
Um,
nice.
so this is just kind of going over like special abilities, and these are boss abilities. These are just kind of like things that would take a lot of money to have very unique characteristics for, and we took like a shortcut around them. So I'll go to the deck now, and
So
right here.
I wonder, how did you make it that you use the NFTs in the game, because the game is not on chain? How did you connect
Well,
it?
so here's the thing: unless you're doing gambling or something that's like turn-based, on-chain gaming is never going to be a thing.
Yeah,
It just won't be. Like the future of NFT gaming is off-chain, and it's utilizing metadata.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, but like, how did you move those NFTs to this game? I wonder, like, because the NFTs are on chain. So how did you were able to add them to this deck builder?
Yeah, so the NFTs themselves, um, like we have this API, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's basically there's no wallet in the game itself. We just talk to a backend server
Mm-hmm.
that hosts our NFTs, and what it does is we query specific whitelisted contracts. So put it this way, other people could make the same thing that we have, but it won't work in our game because we define what collections are allowed in our game. Then when it looks at these contracts, it reads that JSON file, the text file, and it reads in the image from there, the name from there, the special abilities, the stats. So these are all NFTs that I hold in this wallet.
Mm-hmm.
And these are on Stargaze, they're in my wallet, and now you can see them being built into cards on the game.
Mm-hmm.
So like this one has a special ability. And I'm just clicking through all of them so you can.
They kind of look much cooler than on Stargaze because of all of that aura they have and shit around.
Right. But the reason we didn't put that in the game, well, two reasons. It would be a real pain to do this and program it. The second reason is so the NFTs can still act as PFPs.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the NFTs themselves are just the image in the middle. They don't include any of the card. And then here's a cosmetic that I moved over here. So this is what we airdrop to holders of the crowned space apes, and the crowned ape reapers specifically, those who held them. So with this deck, let me just click random deck and do that.
Do you hear the cat?
I do.
Yeah. 5 minutes she can't handle. She's just like I think I spoiled her.
Don't worry, my cat gets needy like that too. And then I'm gonna log in on my phone now. So I'm playing on my computer and my phone.
Yeah.
Just because you were unable to play. So I'm going to try to talk as best as I can. But it will be, and this is where you get to select your deck, right? Auto deck, and I just made the one cat. Create new game, we'll call it Cat 2. And then on my phone, I'm just going to join this game once it is up.
Well,
So
I think the future is like the real metaverse is like Roblox. Someone. Okay, so we are seeing the game now.
yep. And I'm just going to kind of play through this. I'll try to explain some of it.
Yeah, like so for those who like there was a plan we can play together. We are gonna play next time, because had issue. So this is like very short version, without really the excitement of competition.
Right.
But Bonzi is going to show how the game works. So you're not playing against anyone now, right? Or
I'm just playing against myself for this one.
right, yeah.
Come here, Kitten. My cat's gonna get in the way if she stays up here.
How old
but
is
she is 6 years old.
Right.
And the biggest thing that I want to highlight is that this game, like when we release it, it's not the final version of our game by any means. It is like a version that we are building off of.
Does it randomly match you with opponent, or you find the opponent yourself ahead of time?
So we do a server browser right now. So you have to select the game that you want to join. The reason for this being is that matchmaking. Matchmaking requires a lot of complexity, a lot of money to get matchmaking done. When you do matchmaking, you generally do the leaderboard as well. This is something where if it is deemed viable, we will aim to do it in probably 2 to 3 months. But it's not something that we're going to look at right away. Our top priorities are we want iOS support, single player, then sound effects. Right now, we don't use sound effects in the game. Primary reason being is just, when we're trying to like kind of hit a timeline and, just be able to show like, hey, this is real. We want to be able to build off of that. And we don't want to necessarily put too much in right at the beginning without knowing like, hey, do people like it? Do people have fun with it? Things like that.
Can you please tell me like what is happening now as you playing, like just briefly, because the thing on the top is the opponent, right, and the thing of the bottom is you, right? That's like in the very basic. Explain me what is the competition that is going on here.
No, totally. So I'm gonna let this turn skip. There is a 45-second timer on each turn, similar to like Hearthstone's. I think theirs is 2 minutes, and our game is simple enough where, like, for the first few games, I think most people will probably like have a little bit feel rushed, but at the same time, it's like we don't want it where people can rope and essentially use up all the other players' time. So I'll explain the game here and let you know what's happening. So when this turn starts, what ends up happening is you go to the play 2 card phase. So you can always play 2 cards during this phase. And there's different types of cards. So Omen and Veiled Omen. Omens are spell cards. They activate and resolve right away. Veiled Omens are They are delayed spell cards that go face down that activate on this at the start of your opponent's turn. Let's see if I have anything useful. There. And one of the biggest things to start is that we put in basic animations, but a lot of times animations are very expensive. So when the animations are expensive, we kind of picked and choose what we wanted to do right away. Longer term, this is something we build off of, but it's far from a focus at this point. So when I start on this player's turn, I get to play 2 cards. Reapers go in the top 2 lanes. Supports can go behind them. And the way it works is that Reapers do damage to each other. And if there's not a Reaper in the way, then they damage the support cards, as you saw there. Regardless of the Reaper's attack, they do 1 damage to support cards. And if there's no Reaper and support card in the way, then they deal 1 damage to the tombstone. Yes, so the card's abilities are in the metadata, and they're also visually represented. Anytime you see a scythe, that means that that card has a special ability. There are 15 special abilities. So there's a different colored scythe for each one of them. So if you see a scythe, that means it has a special ability. Factions are also represented visually, and that is in the metadata as well as the color of the robe. That defines what the faction or Reaper is.
And the game is purely play to fun, right? Not any because people love the perks play to earn. It's play to fun, right?
Right. And to build off of that, we have thought about doing a wagering mode. We actually have it funded right now, but I'm going to delay releasing that until we have iOS support. Wager mode is where you and I can both agree to pay 100 stars for an entry fee, which whoever wins takes, I think it's like 180 stars, and the project takes 20.
That, to be honest, that's very high fee. This is like a 10% fee for the project. Don't you think that let's call it rake? Don't you think it's a little high?
No, and here's why. So when you play a game of blackjack, your odds are less than 50%. If you are good at this game, your odds are greater than 50%. It is relatively, at least, based off of some skill. So
it is, but I really love this idea because you know this is like the poker. People will be actually training to get better because they can enrich themselves, right? But the 10% rake is very high. It essentially would have to make sure that you beat up 60% of your opponents to be profitable.
What would
So at
so would you think?
55 you are break even, right? So I'm just saying I would in your case I would consider lowering the rake, but that's
Okay.
your.
No, and that can be adjusted at any time. That's not when if say we started with 10 and people say it's universally hated, right? We can adjust that at any time.
Yeah.
That's a 2-second thing, and we just need to communicate it. The other aspect to it, and this is not so much. It's kind of 2-pronged. So 20% of all revenue that we receive, 20% of all royalties, primary mints, etc., that doesn't go to our team. 10% goes to our Awakening set holders, which will be released and become a DAO.
Soon, 10%, the new one. So we should all mint as much as possible.
No. Awakening. This is going to be an airdropped only set for the people who supported us very early on or bought off a secondary marketplace.
What means supported? Is it which collection is included to the supported?
So Mythos, all of Mythos is 1-for-1. Standard collection Reapers, our OG ones, is 1-for-1 for 1 through number 1000.
So
and then
Mythos 1-to-1, right? What's the basic one? Sunnyside Reapers. How many?
Yep. 1-to-1, but only for token numbers 1 through 1,000.
Right. Nightlife, same. The
No,
other,
no, no.
how is?
Nope. Those are the only two, plus a few other chains.
So Sunnyside Reapers and Sunnyside Mythos.
Yep. And this
Right.
snapshot's already been taken. So that, like, people can sell them and you can get into the DAO. It's going to eventually be a DAO. I talk a lot about this aspect, but like it'll be in their control. You know, they have control of the revenue. We have splits contracts, and it's active for every collection, starting with cemetery, these cosmetics. Um, so that goes live. You know, like that profit sharing model is already live, and
Sorry,
then
my ass. Fuck, bro. Come on. Is it the token ID? You mean the rarity?
wait, what?
Up to 1,000 when it comes to the token ID?
Oh yeah, I don't care about
Fuck
rarity.
yeah, I got like 19 Sunnyside Reapers in my wallet, and all of them are above 1,000 token ID.
No, you want them lower. You want them lower.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what
Oh,
I'm
okay,
saying.
yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't get the airdrop. If I would know. If I would, is the lower more rare? Is it like this?
Well, I don't care about rarity. I care about early supporters because it used to mint sequentially. So the people that essentially were there for us when we started through end
Mhm.
of May is I think when those roughly minted out. We wanted to give them the biggest benefit because almost everyone that was with us then is still with us now and
Yeah.
is still like our most active community
Yeah.
members. And we've been super vocal about this. This has been our Twitter banner for months that explain this airdrop. It's been in our Discord.
Yeah.
I've talked about it on Spaces. So it's really where you paying attention, like, right? Because it's there's only so much we can do. Like I can't just reach out and be like, hey, I promise that you'll get a cut of
Yeah,
this.
that's absolutely
So
like I'm fine with it. But as I said, what are the odds I would hold like 19 Reapers and none of them is below 1,000, right? So I was not lucky. That's okay for me. I will buy off secondary market, no problem. Like I'm still really excited for this.
oh, and so all the other collections they get a airdrop from the cards being used right now. They're going to be the same, slightly visually different, but Awakening is revenue sharing. Cemetery is not.
So when the awakening comes live, if even if I
That
don't get this, I can buy them off secondary market, right? That's okay for me. And then
yes,
I get that sweet juice from the game later.
yes.
Nice.
So that was kind of another reason for the high fee. Is that between Awakening, which gets 10% of all revenue, and if you have Awakening gets 10% of revenue, and then we have a pool called Reserve, which is development funds that gets 10%.
How many awakenings will be there? Sorry.
Uh, I think it's going to be just shy of 2,000, and
Right.
it's going to be 100% airdropped.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be no Awakenings available for mint.
Mm-hmm. When is the airdrop date?
We are going to do that airdrop once Stargaze has DAOs implemented. So I don't want to give a timeline on that, but we are keeping that revenue in a separate bucket started already. There's nothing in it, but it's already set
Yeah,
up
yeah,
that
yeah.
way.
I'm really excited. Tell me more. Like so this will be game. It will be fun. It will be strategy game, right? So it's not luck based. It's the strategy. You master, you train, you becoming better, right? Everyone can master the. Will there be a league maybe that there will be rank of the best players? Do you plan to
Yeah.
have the league? Yeah.
So, and this is the like I always want to catch myself, right? Because we kind of switch gears a lot. Like, what do we want to focus on, right? Um, so originally, I was thinking one of the first things that we want is a spectator mode, so we can do a tournament mode. But then when we started looking at it, it was like, it's a once you talk to the game dev, like iOS support was $2,000, which compared to some items that we've done, is a very small amount. So we were like, well, let's do iOS first. We can do play against the team instead of tournament mode for the net for like right now. Wager mode, we have partially, like, it's funded. It has not been developed yet, but I was like, let's put that on hold because we need a player base. We want both Android and iOS. We don't want just half the available people. So it really, like, when these most things that you can think of as features we have thought about, it's now more so what makes sense to do. Do we get more benefit from this, more benefit from that? How much does one thing cost? How much does another cost? Mm-hmm. And that's kind of where it comes down to.
Nice. Yeah,
mm-hmm. And this game is going very slow. And part of the reason is I'm not reading any of the cards. I'm just playing them. The other reason is to make the game very accessible. We have and I went through it when I started, a random deck button that just builds one randomly for you. That's just so people can hop right in and they don't need to spend time building, a 25 card deck and trying to like.
People can improve their decks, building decks, right?
Oh, no. So you can save and build multiple decks, but just for the new user experience who's not going to know what they're doing anyway when they start, we want them to have one click and then be able to play. So that's why we have that implemented.
Right. And the building the better decks, does it cost money? Like, can they pay for the better cards? Can they trade between themselves?
So my answer to that, so this I call charm. I don't know if you can see that or not, but so my answer to that is like any card game, right? If you play with a free deck, you don't have the full card pool. It's never going to be as good as a real deck, like somebody who's put money into it or gone off secondary and bought the cards they actually liked. So like, I don't call it pay to play because it's up to the player, but somebody who does. Do you have to import your mnemonic if the app crashes? No. The app will create a wallet.
Congratulations, Bonzi. You won.
Yep.
Against yourself.
So the app will create the wallet for you. If for any reason the app crashes while the mnemonic is up and you aren't able to save it, just make a new account. Nothing in the wallet, new account.
Got it. I must tell you, I really like it for the certain reason. I have nothing against the gambling. To be honest, raccoons have gambling, but I think it's too complicated, it's too slow. So then we have on Stargaze we will have coin flip, which is quite fun. It's just basic, right? Coin flip. But the gambling cannot ever outdo the competition. And I really like what I'm seeing. Like, I'm not trying to say that your game, it's mainly, I think the main purpose is for fun, but those who want to improve and those who want to play for money, it's not the luck, right? And I like this more. I don't really like the luck based, because in the luck based you cannot win, right? Ever.
Yep.
But here it's actually like something I'm really excited, because I will start playing. I will try to get myself better, right? Like, why wouldn't I? Like, the same as playing chess. You want to get better, and so that's really cool.
Well, it's like, and this part's always so hard to not explain, but like, I guess get people to believe, because you got, these projects like Andromaverse, right? Who got millions in dollars, and they've been building for just maybe 1 month longer than we have, as far as I know. So people look over us because they're like, well, how can they do that when they've only done, these cheap collections? They're not a blue chip, this and that. And it's like, no, this is going to be the most complete game on Cosmos, shy of Horizons Unbound from Felbury. Shout out to him. But like, outside of him, like, I've looked around and I'm not concerned about much. Not for months anyway.
Look, I be honest, I'm looking. It it's the first and it's the best game of Cosmos. Like like
Yeah.
you don't have to have $1 million. You don't have to build the multiverse. Like the great graphics and the multiverse, it doesn't make the game best. What makes the game best is its community and it's the fun aspect. You
Yep.
know, you can play the cards and you can allow it to be fun and competitive and engaging. Like you don't some people just think too far, right? Like if one day what they gonna build, but like focus on delivering and focus what you can do with the tools you have. And the best thing is Bonzi, like Andromaverse,
Yep.
no offense to them, I love their art, especially the Andromeda punks, the little babies. Is one of the best pixel art I ever seen in the NFT, right? So they pixel us is great. I never seen a single tweet they drop. Never in my feed I saw. I maybe they exist on Discord. I don't know.
Yep.
Bonzi, I see you for past year being in
Yep.
community, like being here. Like your collections didn't make money. I don't know. You told me how much you make. If it was 20K in the past year, it's not even enough to cover your living. But you hear, hey, and you have your community, and I'm like, hey, I'm building games for us. If more people will come, like Don, right? Like let's not pretend I'm not in the Sunnyside community. I owe Sunnyside Reapers, but I'm not active in your Discord. I don't know what's happening there. But if this
Yep.
game interests me, I come. Maybe with me, five more people come, and community slowly grow, right? And you
Yep.
have fun. And like if every month you add few more people that play the game, that's
Yeah.
massive success.
Yeah. And to answer Gaines real quick, so leaderboards that ties into matchmaking. I never actually asked for a quote on this because I think it is a large investment. I'm not positive, but I think it's probably like $6,000 to do matchmaking with leaderboard. Um, that would be my guess. I'm not sure yet. So it's going to be a little bit further down the line, and that's going to kind of come down to like, does it make sense to build that? Because for full transparency, iOS support, which we have fully funded, is $2,000. Single player is going to be 3,500 to create a single player mode, which is against a bot that will use different decks. So this is the kind of things where it's like, I'm very upfront about this. Like this app in the state that it's in right now with iOS support is about probably just around $30,000 to build this. The project has funded less than half of this, and the rest of it's personal. So it's one of the things now where I know the dollar amount that I was like willing to put in. We've gone once iOS support is out, then that's kind of where I want the project to be able to fund itself, and that's why we allocate 10% of everything of our revenue to the reserve to do improvements over time.
Bonzi, sorry to stop you. You said
Yep.
how much money it costed total?
So costed total to build this is roughly 30K
Yeah.
when iOS support comes out.
Did,
So
did
at the
you
end of
did you
April,
pay? Do you pay developer? He's on the.
yeah.
So tell me why did you do this if it cost you more than you made from the NFTs?
So that part I never did the full analysis on. It's hard for me to say. I can tell you the Reaper collections have done about $25,000.
Yeah.
I can tell you Sweet Succubi did about $8,000, and we've done a few contract jobs that are probably worth $3,000 to $5,000. But a lot of the times we're splitting that with our secondary artist who did Sweet Succubi. She does a lot of our one of ones, like she did Eternals. I'm trying to think of Manaki Nico. We split that with her, and like I always got criticized for this because Tin and Nick, if Nick's still here, is gonna be like, we overpaid the shit out of her. And I was like, dude, like I want her here for us, like for the long term, and like we wouldn't have these jobs without her. So like the total revenue we probably brought in was about 30,000,
Yeah.
and we distributed to the team probably between 8 and 10,000. Um, the project currently owes me just over $17,000. So if you're wondering how much have I personally funded versus the project, it's me about $17,000 and the project about
Yeah.
$13,000.
I was asking for this because I do really prefer people like this who puts their own effort into building something, and you also proven that you don't really need millions of dollars to build a game. Like, because
Cool.
there is a lot of people like, we need million. If we don't get million, we don't make. And here is Bonzi, right? Here is Bonzi who put his own money and build a game for 30K that actually works.
Yeah,
I
I
want
will
people,
say,
I want people to see that. I want people to see, hey, I can also do something, right? Like and stop this I don't know, I don't want to say the word of the new Cosmos chain that aims to disrupt metaverse, but
yeah.
it's yeah, it's fearless leader Bonzi. There is the question, if you will allow, I think that might be difficult, Stargaze names to be have player IDs maybe.
Um, I I'd have to ask our developer. I want to say yes. Let me rephrase that. So we had the option of doing this API or doing connect a wallet. Like I think the dollar cost for us to make it where you can take your pre-existing Leap wallet. I'm gonna say right now we're never gonna do it for Kepler. Kepler sucks. We need to get rid of Kepler. Leap needs to come in and be the winner. Um, we could
That,
do that.
so you say Leap Wallet, yeah, Leap Wallet. Sorry,
Yep.
and yeah,
Yep.
go on.
And it will cost about I think $500 to $600 to implement this. We are not going to fund that because it's going to introduce user friction right away. And we have something that works. And this works for any chain. This doesn't just work for Cosmos chains. Our current method works for any chain. And I'm not saying we're going to Polygon. I'm not saying we're going to Immutable. But I'm saying is long term, what we have right now, it works for everything. We're only starting on Stargaze because it makes sense. Like we shouldn't go anywhere else.
Mhm.
We're at step one. Um, so that was kind of the mentality there. We will eventually do kind of that wallet connect, but right now it's gonna require. We have two developers we use. The developer that does the API, it's gonna require time from him and time from our game developer. Our game developer is money hungry. He's about $1,000 a week, give or take.
Yeah,
Um, and if anyone's curious when this project actually started with them working on it, it was October 17th. So we've been almost paying this guy $1,000 a week since October 17th. I think it started out a little bit cheaper so they could get the deal with us. But once we got past our initial kind of once we got to the end point and we realized it would take more work, that was where then was like the price went up a little bit, and I'm
mhm,
fine with it because they do an amazing job.
yeah. It's still okay. Grand a week. Some people have like crazy rates. So yeah, that's
Oh,
really like
well, do you want to know why these games need millions? It's because they got two guys sitting in the US living in California working on this project trying to pay their $3,000 a month rent. People
yeah,
rag on, outsourcing. I'm sure some people won't like this, but if you are in this space and you have never developed a game before, you're doing it wrong if you're not using China or Ukraine. I think there's India. Like you just should be using these.
yeah, yeah,
Otherwise, your
yeah.
games will never come to life.
That's amazing point. I hate sorry to shit on the Cosmos ecosystem, but there's like yeah, we need to stay competitive, hence my like developers who are based in Palo Alto, San Francisco, etc., they must be making at least 500,000 a year, otherwise they go somewhere else. And
Right.
I'm like, one of the best developers in the world are in Ukraine, like, and there is so many senior developers there. right? I'm not saying that cheap. Like, Nick at Stargaze, the new one, 18-year-old senior developer, JS developer working at Arif, our Stargaze did integration with Han. He's Ukrainian refugee, right?
Yeah.
18-year-old. India, like as you said, China. You don't have to find developers from use, like, really go international. Like,
Yeah.
make sure that those folks from San Francisco will lose their jobs.
Yeah.
Make them try to do better. you know
Oh
that's
yeah.
that's simple as that.
Well, and like when we started too, we started with an in-house developer.
Hmm.
Um, and around like this is going through some of the challenges. Like we've had the game planned since April. We did a lot of the layout. We did the NFT integration and like a base version of the game that he made. We scrapped his version and used a different base that we have the rights for. And then he did an initial NFT integration, and he realized he got in over his head, but like he didn't want to admit it, and so he just kind of started like not communicating, right?
Hmm.
And I told him too. I was like, dude, like I don't care if you can't build the game. I would just like you on for networking, not networking with people, but the actual networking server management of the game.
Hmm.
Um, but like eventually, like he was just out, and that's where I was like, well, I'm not like we're not giving up on this. So like, went out. I think I interviewed over 10 people from Fiverr and Upwork and picked the best one, and just started working with them because I was like, well, like we're not gonna I don't know, we're not gonna rug. It would have been a very convenient time to rug, but like I don't know, we're not gonna do it. Um, and then when we were working with that developer, we had like a 2-week span where multiplayer didn't work.
Hmm.
They couldn't figure out how to get it past one of the ports, was my understanding.
Hmm.
TCP worked, UDP didn't. So for like 2 weeks, like I'm talking to anyone that I can, and like in all these discords, like, is this something that you can help with? Like, can we switch the networking? And like eventually they figured it out. But it's like the headwinds to make a game, and why I'm so openly critical of other projects on Spaces is because I don't think most can do it. I really don't. I know for damn sure that no one could build a game like this for the price that we did.
Hmm.
I'm like very confident in that that's something that only our team could have done.
That's really good, because I think you have to stay competitive, and you should try to figure, like, you should actually try to build things as cheap as possible. I Even if someone has a lot of money, why wouldn't you find talented developers that are cheaper? There are claims that there is no good developers for less than $500,000 a year salary. The world
So
is very big. There is 8 billion people in the world. Just do
so
some effort. Yeah.
so like I have no background in game development at
Hmm.
all. Every other project founder in the crypto space, probably 99 out of 100 of them, don't either. I'm really good at understanding what's problematic and what's not.
Hmm.
Most people don't. So they end up price gouging themselves because they want these ridiculous features and they keep over promising, over promising, over promising. And they dig themselves these huge hole where the game's just never going to get done and it's never going to work right.
Hmm.
So the original um, dream that we had for the game, this game does not look like that close to it. We had a lot of other like special abilities, a lot of other types of interactions that once I started seeing them in progress, I was like, we can't do this. Like it's like we could ask them to if we want to spend an additional like $10,000 to $20,000, but a lot of people, I don't think a lot of people that are contracting out these jobs understand that.
Hmm.
Um, then I guess the other aspect is like I've said it before, but if I could redo it again, we would have started with a bunch of the cookie cutter projects off of Upwork and Fiverr and put in NFTs. I'm surprised it hasn't been done, but you can do NFT games for less than $2,000 a piece, and you can pop one out once
Hmm.
a month. It's actually really easy. I've considered it, but like, this is like our big thing. And I know Skelly's are doing the arcade. I like what they're doing because it's cookie cutter, but it's an empire of cookie cutter.
Mhm.
And I just like by the time like I realized that was something others were doing, it didn't make sense. And also, there's no way in hell I'd compete against EJ and Space Skellies.
Yeah, and they have better resources.
Oh,
Um,
100%.
I want to ask you because recently you released Eternals, right? What is the plan with Eternals? Is there also like some you plan some maybe utility to this, or is just art?
If you so it went off my screen, but where the cosmetic was, they go in that spot. Let me do Nargane. So they will be another cosmetic. On top of that, any holder of Eternals, they get 10 Sunnyside Awakening, the revenue sharing
And already
cards.
snapshot was done.
Yes,
So
yes.
if I buy, I don't get anything.
Yeah, no, I'm actually surprised that like the floor price hasn't like tanked on some of them, but or I guess I don't even look, so maybe it has.
Right. So there is no utility to them anymore.
So this is um real quick. This guy right here,
Yeah.
Eternals will go here.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where Eternals will go. As it comes to our OG sets, this is something where I want to like let you know that I have ideas for it. It would be really foolish for me to tell you that anything is coming soon, though.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like, it's hard to say, but everything that like we do, everything that's like a feature, it generally takes a lot of resources, a lot of time, and then also money. Um, and one of the reasons that we're going to be the first ones to release something, not one of the first game that's going to be an app with NFTs implemented is going to be us. It just is.
Mm-hmm.
Um, is because we didn't spread ourselves too thin. We stayed at one topic at a time, and we made sure we could do one thing before we could do another.
Of course, Bonzi ships. Okay, let's slowly finish. I want to keep it around 1 hour because I want to share the video in the future and wind it actually longer. I think it turns way better than we planned because for those who are new, we planned to play against each other. I couldn't get the game, so it was just presentation, and I think it was great. Um,
I was happy. I just didn't want it to be focused on, oh, it doesn't like,
No,
he
it
can't
it
get
it,
forward.
it went great. I think
Yeah.
we got the idea of the game, and we're gonna come again if you want, of course, and we're gonna play it.
Oh,
Um,
100%.
I want to last few minutes the questions about the Stargaze. You mentioned Space Kiddies. They move into Polygon, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's your guess? Can they be successful on Polygon?
Space Cup, absolutely.
Yeah,
I think a lot of projects that move over there will fail and they won't be able to compete. Um, the ones that I look at that I think can do really well are Skellies and Rebels, but I don't think there should be like any hate towards either one of them. I think Stargaze has more to gain in terms of visibility from some of them launching one collection there. And more importantly, this part's always hard to explain, but you don't know the long term. This next collection's on Polygon. They expand their audience. After that next collection, the clock's reset. They could be thinking maybe we're going somewhere else next time. Maybe we want to come back to Stargaze next time. They cannot
yeah,
vocalize this because you cannot be 100% Polygon while also telling people, hey, in 3 months though, we might go back.
yeah,
So, and I don't know if that's true or not, but what I'm saying is the next move is Polygon, but after that, it's a free for all again. It
yeah.
has nothing. Yeah.
It's maybe also wise to say to Stargaze members, which we both affiliated with Stargaze, correct? Like, and
Yep.
I know Space Kiddies are leaving, if there is collection that go to Polygon, get new users, and they'll be like, hey, maybe actually we're gonna do something there too. This few like it benefits us. Actually, the leave to Polygon, maybe it will benefit us. But also, like what I noticed, like a lot of projects is like, yeah, we are leaving, and I think a lot of them are actually gonna fail on Polygon because
I do too.
because you need to like Stargaze is so niche, right? So
Yep.
I like to give example of the pixel wizards.
Yep.
They came and they found excellent niche for themselves, and to be honest, pixel wizards right now is the leading Stargaze collection, right? Would
Yep.
pixel wizards be leading collection on Polygon with the much larger competition? I don't know. What I
Yeah.
know that now, as they lead on Stargaze, they can really um use it as their advantage, right? So because everyone know Pixel Wizards, yeah, this is the blue gem on
It's a
Stargaze,
big
and
deal.
they are like, so I think the Stargaze is great because you can actually come and dominate quite
Can I?
easily.
Oh, and can I say we're losing some dead weight too? And when I say dead weight, we're removing the stupid Andromaverse eggs out of our ecosystem.
Oh,
I
are they
don't
going
mind
to
throwing
Polygon?
shade at Andromaverse at all. I think the creators um I think the creator's very immature, and I think he's a really bad people person, and I think he's a gatekeeper. And I like taking shots at people publicly because very few people ever hit back, as it turns out. Because I mean,
Is Andromaverse going to Polygon? Oh, good for them.
the egg thingies are, yeah,
Yeah,
they're
I
migrating those.
I mean, like they, as I said, you never seen them. They were not community. I believe the people who held Androma, I never seen them engage in any other project. So good luck.
Oh, they'll
Um,
fail.
I
They'll
I
fail.
know I know there was one. Joseph made the platform. What is it called? Where you can swap the NFTs, and Andromaverse was upset that like you cannot swap with royalties. Like there is
Yeah,
no chain that would pay you like there is no chain in existence that you would you give you P2P royalties for exchange. Like I don't know what I don't know what planet they are living on, but they almost seem like they never used the crypto or
yeah.
NFTs. So good luck
Um,
to them. Yeah.
their chain is still planned. I'm in the opinion of I know they have two developers that are in house. I know they got millions in funding, and they have two developers. I know the only reason that they're popular is because they were the first punks on the chain. They look
Mhm.
great, awesome. The guy leading it, clueless. Not, I would not bet my money on the punks, is what I'm saying.
That was the like I people didn't get it like when remember Stargaze long punks were the hottest, and I was like,
Yeah,
why? It's copy.
that's
It's
the first
actually more
punk.
copy of the Terra punks. The art was great,
Yeah,
but it was like it's not gonna be blue gem. Like and underperforming market massively, underperforming like on Stargaze. I still think art is beautiful. The artist they had is very talented. That girl, right? Like
yeah,
so, the art is great, but you were unable to build any community around that. You were unable to build. I mean, them unable to build any community. I want to give shout out also. There is Doghouse. I'm not sure what are the plans for the Doghouse,
yep,
but they seemed quite nice. I really like them, and I promised the Cosmos Ape Alliance because they created some sniper tool,
yep.
and I don't know if they want to stay or not. But this is the point: like they create the sniper tool, and everyone on Stargaze will know it right
Mhm.
soon.
Also,
So
thank you, Luigi. I just wanted to say that quick. So the doghouse, their mutants are going to Polygon.
mhm,
Um, the sniper bot, I would imagine that they do go to. I think most Terra projects, even if they're here, you will see something on Polygon. They move as a group. Like Pixel Wizards, Lonely Astro Club, Cosmo Ape Alliance. I would expect to see something on Polygon from
mhm.
them in the future as well. Again, I don't. like I don't think anyone should be mad at them,
Yeah,
especially coming from us. Like we're on 6 chains, we just happen to do it all in this the Cosmos ecosystem.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah, so
As you said, as the group, the like, sorry to stop you. Spay was here. So as she got the not she got some geek at the what's the new NFT marketplace on Polygon, Open World,
One Planet.
one planet, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So Spay was big in Terra, right? Open World was from Terra, and a lot of these projects would actually like that was their home. So I would
yeah,
expect a lot of them like, hey, we move like it's fine, it's okay. They deployed some on Stargaze. It's cool, benefited. When I now go after this last 2 months were very fruitful on Stargaze. I go to Stargaze marketplace. It looks so different than 2 months ago, and I'm
yeah,
very happy how it looks now. So
yeah. And one of the biggest things is too, like I was in a lot of the back end conversations of like why projects left. Um, the Utes move kicked off something, but it was like so many people think that the Utes moving to Polygon was the reason. It was so far from it. I can't even describe that enough. Like I've had to talk to people, like people that are like Jake Hartnell, Cosmos DeFi, the team. They all thought it was money. I'm like, no, guys, like it wasn't and
what
you know
collection can you? I could.
all of them. Why they all moved? It
All
had
right.
nothing to do with money. That set off the idea, um, and the potential of it, but that was like 20% of the reason of the 80%. Um, and what I'm getting at though is a lot of it had to do with like tooling, features, like governance, tokenomics, support, community feedback. I don't know if you guys have noticed like in the past 2 months, but like so much has changed. Like the website since the end of February has been fantastic, at least for me.
Mhm.
We have like the community spaces, like um, a few of those going on. We've started kind of helping out more with like launchpad projects. We have free Minter coming in 3 days. We reduced launchpad fees to 5%. We have a call on tokenomics and what we're going to do to address inflation, I think on a space next week. Um, you know, what else was there? Open Edition Minter that just got funded and hopefully is live in a month. UI updates are coming, Infinity pools are coming. So there's been a lot of changes since then,
Yeah.
and I think that'll look good in that like 1 to 3 month span
Yeah.
when projects have
Um,
to
did you say free means coming? Uh,
3 days.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, there's so many updates on Stargaze, and I can't really like fit it all in the videos. Huge shout out to Jorge,
Yep.
because Jorge is the hardest working developer in whole Cosmos ecosystem. So sorry other projects, but I just want to I just want to give shout out to Jorge, because you can actually go to Jorge and tell Jorge, hey, we need that, and 3 days later Jorge is like, I did this. Like, find me other ecosystem like this, like that. Like, I know there is like other projects on other chains. I would tell them, hey, we need that. We Months passes and we don't have it. Like, so, and Jorge, you can pitch ideas to Jorge, and he's very communicative, very humble, and great developer. Like, I want to put as much eyes on Jorge as possible, because he's one of the best and one of the kindest developer in the whole ecosystem.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Wrapping
He's
up.
he's the guy actually. Yeah. No, I'm good. Uh,
Yeah, you
the
said
Yoda
he's
hat.
the guy. He's the guy. Huh?
Well, he's the guy. Like, if you ever need like a answer, like a dev answer or front end thing, like fixed ASAP, he's like usually pretty much on it.
Yeah, I think sometimes I message in the Stargaze like channels. I think I should stop it, and I should do, because I will do myself more good. I will not seem bitter, and I will get faster answer if I message Jorge. So yeah, he's
Yep.
great guy. Yeah. Let's wrap it up. It was great. Thank you everyone for being here. Make sure to like this video. I'm gonna probably share this whole stream. I'm really excited for the game. Once again, when is the game? When, like, the day that everyone can have it?
Okay, so the app is in review right now. The day that we thought it was going to get approved from our game developer was today, but we are at the mercy of Google Play right now. If it is not released and approved by Friday, we will release it on our Discord as a direct download, so people can play it. But we're just waiting on Google now.
Yeah. Not sure what's this question about. Does Bigfoot fart?
I would say no.
You do look like, I myself, when I think of you, you look like someone who would go and seek Bigfoot.
I do the cave diving stuff like pretty
Yeah, like
regularly.
you are the proper guy. You did to the cave, was the rave the other day? Was
Yeah,
it
yeah, yeah,
dude, that cave looks sick. Is the
yeah.
Yeah, nice.
I live along a river, and we do a bunch of those.
Yeah. Is it in like Minnesota City, or you live somewhere outside on the?
Yeah, Victor, he said Iron Range. I'm actually in Minneapolis, is where I
Oh,
actually live.
like Minneapolis. I meant to say Minneapolis. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
So all of that caves you have somewhere in the Minneapolis. Yeah.
It's a lot in St. Paul, but there's a few in Minneapolis, and yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's been like a relatively new hobby of mine, but like it's interesting.
So I'm googling Iron Rage in Minnesota. Is it? What's this Iron Rage? Is there
It's just
Iron
kind
Rage?
of, yeah.
Oh, it's on the. Oh, it's far away from Minneapolis.
Yeah, no, that's much further up north.
Yeah. So you do those there, those caves, like you go there.
Google Milk Truck Cave St. Paul.
Um,
We went to this one last
Once
week.
again, can you tell me?
Milk like the drink, space truck, cave St. Paul.
Wow. Oh man.
So this one we were in for hours, and like we had to turn around because like the air was getting heavy. But I think we went to that one last Thursday or Friday, I want to say.
Yes, Gary, it's this live. So this is the cave.
Yeah.
And you go there at night, yeah?
Yeah.
Wow. And it's a rave, yeah? Like you do music and shit. And
That was at a different one. That one's easier access. This one goes really far deep.
cannot find on the map, but wow. Yeah, a lot of things I'm learning. Yeah, that's really cool. Let's wrap it up.
Okay. Yeah. No, I'm good.
Yeah. Thank you
Yep.
for thank you for coming here. I really enjoyed. So I will keep updates with the game. You keep me updated as well. Gary, it was because I was showing some stuff, but everyone responding here. Like, he responded to you. He responded. He literally said that Bigfoot doesn't fart.
It's true.
What you say? I would say Bigfoot must fart. Like,
okay.
it doesn't eat, or what's going on? Why the Bigfoot wouldn't fart?
We we can wrap it up. This isn't what I want to extend the show for.
Yeah, like that would ruin all the effort we did before. Yeah, thank you everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day, and it's night for you. Enjoy your night. Yeah.
Thanks, Don.
Thank you.
This was great.
Bye bye.